We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a pretty good one on tap here, as it'll be the Green Bay Packers taking on the Denver Broncos. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
And off we go from Denver. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. 6'4" Jordan Love taking the field for the first time. The 2020 first-round pick from Utah State set to lead Green Bay.
And at the start of Jordan Love's NFL career, he had one of the best seats in the stadium watching Aaron Rodgers work. But now he's looking for more than that. Rocket arm, big play potential, and he wants to show this organization that he's capable of being a dependable starter for the foreseeable future.
First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
From the 41, here's 2nd and 3. They'll send Reed in motion left. 2nd down, Jacobs once more. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. Throwing. Love. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. 25, touchdown, Packers. 44 yards for Josh Jacobs. And the Packers are on the board first here this afternoon.
Well, earlier in the week when they had their scouting report meeting, this was the explosiveness that they talked about trying to contain. They were concerned about it all week, yet he still did it to them. Wonder how that's going to carry over the rest of the game.
On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. And it's good to make it 7-0 Packers. So that drive, 4 plays. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And a glance here at their shifty mobile signal caller.
His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want, but this guy, he is hard to corral.
They'll run with a second-round pick from April's draft. And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Again, it's Harvey. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Denver has a first down on the 15-yard play. There was a little space there, yes, but that was a well-executed run by the rookie.
It was, and he wasn't one of the higher-rated rookie running backs coming out. He's probably on the next tier. But let me tell you something. If he becomes more consistent and continues to have that drive to be one of the best, we'll see more of that in the future.
And the Packers are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
So good field position for the Packers as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
2nd down, Jacobs once more. Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Four receivers split out here. It's 3rd and 8. Glove. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a 1st down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
And complete once again to Watson. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Working out of the gun. Love. And that is incomplete.
And that's where you want to use your big tight end. Let him use his size and frame to go up and get the deep ball in the end zone. But that time, they couldn't connect.
2nd and 10. Again, it's Love. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jacobs. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
And that is incomplete.
And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go up the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
Now McManus will line up for the field goal. From the left hash, this from 39. The kick by McManus is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
So after the made field goal, 10-0 here early as the kick's away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Good, sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
From the 43, it's 2nd and 3. Here's Nix. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Nix. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Broncos first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
We use the term pitch and catch a lot to denote an easy completion. We just saw one right there on 3rd and 3 to pick up the first down.
Why are those so tough to defend? Just because they hit so quickly?
Yeah, it's all about timing and confidence. Quarterback sees it, rips it, there you go.
Harvey now on 1st and 10. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. No big surprise. Micah Parsons doing what he does so well, dropping him for a loss.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Throwing Nix. It's caught by Bryant. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Nix going to give to Harvey. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is third down. To throw is Nix. That is caught. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 14. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on third.
First down. First and 10 at the 14-yard line.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Nix to the air. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Evan Ingram from 13 yards out. And the Broncos have cut it back within a score. Yeah, he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And Evan Ingram able to finish it off with a touchdown reception. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And not much happening on the return as they'll get this to about the 23. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yeah,
run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Throw left side complete. That's Jacobs. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give him a short yardage situation here for second down. They will run the draw with Jacobs. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 69 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling. I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and making sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
Love now. On the out route, Dobbs brings it in. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. This pass caught. It's Dobbs with it. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 32-yard line. Give them 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well.
A gain of 18 on the play.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Back to the running game with Jacobs. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays.
It's a gain of 17 yards. And a Packer first down.
On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And it'll be a minimum pickup here as it will take us to the end of the first quarter. 10-7 our score after one right here on EA Sports. The Packers with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. To pass, here's Jordan Love. Looking middle, and that's complete. It'll go as a gain of 4. And all of a sudden here, it's third down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on third down. Out of the shotgun, it's Love. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
Brendan McManus on for the Packer field goal. A 26-yard attempt.
The kick by McManus is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves them with a 2nd and 3. And they'll try to run the option here. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. He'll grab 3 yards on the play, taking it himself for the first down. So that was all you're looking for on a play like that. Get the first down and keep the drive moving.
Yeah, it just looked to me like he just said to himself, I've got this. I'll take it. I'll pick it up, and let's keep moving. Get the first down, get a new set, and let's start over.
To throw, here's Nix. Going for the deep ball. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now it's Nix. He'll swing this out to Harvey. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They'll try it now with Harvey. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
4th and 2 in the NFL, not ordinarily a running down anymore. Usually that ball is moved through the air. They went ahead and gave it to the back, and he ends up picking up the first down. I'm not sure if they fooled him as much as they just did a nice job executing.
Needed 2, and they got 3. And his throw is incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
Covered by Xavier McKinney.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. And this pass broken up. The contact well-timed there, and now 4th down.
It's now 4th down.
A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
And a good result there as that'll get out of bounds and pin them back at their 10-yard line. The Packers offense and running back Josh Jacobs set to take over once more. He's been a tough man to stop in this first half. He's putting up some big numbers already, and we have yet to reach halftime. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Play action this time with Love. Throwing left side, and Watson has it. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
That one goes for 24 yards.
Packers first down. 24-yard gain on the play. First down, Packers.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory, right at the 40. Now Love. Over the middle here, it's hauled in by Watson. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Running straight ahead is Jacobs. A solid stiff arm. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Josh Jacobs with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Packers are able to add on to that lead. Well, what a first half he's had running the football. Another terrific run there, and this one finds the end zone.
Well, we know he's a guy who's capable of coming up with big plays in the running game, and his offensive line knows it as well. That keeps them motivated, looking for those extra blocks to give him room to run downfield.
McManus now for the extra point. And the lead is now 13. That time a 6-play drive. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. And Denver getting set to take the field. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. Operating from the gun. Here's Nix. Finds his tight end Ingram. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. The end result, 21 yards.
And the Broncos first down.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
They'll look to throw here on first down. That's taken in by Franklin. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 18 more yards there and another first down.
That's another Broncos first down. 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? On the give, it's Harvey. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
2nd and 11. Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
3rd and 2.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Working out of the gun is Nix. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31.
A loss of 7.
Quay Walker came through to make the sack. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Now Lutz for the field goal try. This one from 48 yards away.
A 48-yard attempt.
The kick by Lutz is good. And that cuts into the deficit. It's now 20-10. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because you know after the sack there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here comes the offense again, and let's focus on Josh Jacobs for a moment. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot.
We just saw an example of what we talk about all the time when we meet with coaches. They want that hidden yardage to come to the front when they throw the football. Throw it, catch it, and then pick up more yardage after the catch.
Here's Jacobs from the gun. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 147 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. To throw now. Here's Love. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Throwing. Love. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Love. And that'll be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Here's Love. Throw caught by Musgrave. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Now McManus will line up for the field goal. From the left hash, a 31-yard attempt. The kick by McManus is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Broncos going to go on offense now late in this first half. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. Here's Nix. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing Nix. He targets Ingram for another grab. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Nix from the shotgun. It's caught inside the 25. They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Over 30 yards there, and first downs on 3 consecutive plays now.
At the 22-yard line.
So halftime straight ahead. It is time to join our good friend Scott Hanson. He's got our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the downtown Orlando studios. Scott Hanson and crew with you for a short and sweet halftime, as this game's had a little bit of everything to it. We'll find out which side can establish some tempo in the 3rd quarter as we're ready to kick off the 2nd half. Back out to our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Scott, thank you very much. We are ready to get started here with the 2nd half. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Broncos offense set to begin this third quarter. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
On the handoff, Harvey. They'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. To throw is Nix. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have the Broncos first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And the Broncos first down. First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Up the middle, it's Harvey. And a hard-earned yard there as he ran through one would-be tackler. It's second down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
His throw incomplete.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Nix to the air. Packer pressure, and down he goes. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Love going to break the huddle, lead the Packers up here 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Short throw. He's got Kraft. And he'll be just shy of the 20 at the 19 as he goes out of bounds. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that will bring up second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Love looking to throw it. He finds his man, complete. It's Reed. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage when you run a drag route, What you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
Love now. Got Dobbs over the middle. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that'll bring up a second down and just a couple.
On the pickup brings up 2nd and 2 at the 33-yard line.
Jacobs going to try the middle. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. To pass, here's Jordan Love. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Packers first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards.
3rd and 4 is always a tough call. Maybe a little too long to run for it, but not too long to hit him on the quick slant. And that was well executed. Found the window and zipped it right in there.
Back to throw now on first down. He hits his target, left side, Watson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good-looking drive for the Packers so far. It's a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Now it's 2nd and 10. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 159 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Here's a handoff to Jacobs running left. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down, because really, they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well, because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Working out of the gun, Love. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 18. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available, because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Well, the offense has had a big day. He's been great running the football, but I don't think anybody liked that last result.
No, they didn't like the last result at all, but they have to look at it in total, don't they? They've had a big day running the football. You take an occasional loss or an occasional bad play along the way, but all in all,
under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line. John Franklin Myers, the one in there to drop him.
They've gobbled up over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks them backwards. And that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
First and second down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. Now Love. The short throw to Musgrave. Will go down as a gain of 6. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
A 36-yard attempt.
The kick by McManus is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So the lead grows here incrementally, but I think the way their defense is playing, you feel okay with just getting 3.
They've definitely been stout so far, but now that can all change because if one guy gets loose for 70 yards, this is a different game. But as it stands, field goals are good. Just keep adding to that lead.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. And able to get this out to the 25. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
And this is what they're going to need more of. It's the 3rd quarter. You're trailing. You've got to come out with a renewed sense of purpose, and that's a nice way to kick off the drive with good yardage and a first down.
They run straight ahead with Harvey. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now it's Nix. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Franklin. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 3 quarters in the books. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Operating from the gun, here's Nix. Completes it to Evan Ingram. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Well, he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
It's a gain of 9.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Second down and a little more than a yard here. Now a first carry for their fullback. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a first and goal.
At the 5-yard line.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
From the 2 now, second and goal. They'll try it with Bidet. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Tyler Beatty taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Broncos get a bit closer. So this back now to a 10-point spread, and you have to imagine they'll line up and go for 2.
Oh, no question about it. If they can get this to an 8-point game, they can make things awfully interesting here in these last few minutes.
So now a big play here as the Broncos will line up to go for 2.
The Broncos
They'll look to throw. That's caught. And they will get back to within 1 score as he is into the end zone, and the lead's cut to 8 here in the 4th.
Broncos 18.
And that almost makes it a brand-new ball game. Now it's a 1-score affair after they get the 2.
And you have to know they were holding their breath on the 2-point play because they had to have it to get it within the range that you just talked about. Dialed up their 2-point play. It worked. Now they're feeling like they've got a shot at this one.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Packers offense and quarterback Jordan Love heading back out onto the field. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. That last touchdown has made this really tight. They're clinging now to this slim lead. Second half, they only have a field goal. This offense needs to kick it into gear.
And right now, I'm looking directly at the field general, at the quarterback, because to me, he's got to take over right now. By word, pumping his team up, and then, of course, by deed with his play. My high school coach used to say that all the time. Laddie, take over by word and deed.
And deed means action.
Exactly.
Second and 7. Play action this time with Love. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35.
5 yards on the play.
It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll leave him with a 3rd and 2. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
It's knocked away and incomplete. Now Riley Moss able to get a hand in there and knock it away.
Just because you've got the lead in the fourth, it doesn't mean you have to play it safe. I like the aggressive play call there to push it downfield. That time, it didn't work out.
On now is the Packers punter, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. Looking to put a drive together. To throw, here's Nix. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Nix. And he'll find Sutton on the right side complete. And he'll be dropped just shy of the 35 at the 34. A pickup of 17 on a play that originated at the 17.
And that's a much-needed first down right there. Look, they're down by 8. So logic says they don't have to get a touchdown out of this drive. But the way things are going, I don't know if I'd put it in the hands of my defense here. You might not get the ball back at all. So if a fourth down situation comes up, I'm thinking hard about going for it right here and right now.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Operating from the gun. Nix. Over the middle, complete. That's Franklin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That'll put him at 66 receiving yards now for the game, and he's got a first down. Right there, he rose to the occasion late in a close game.
It's something he thought about, dreamed about, and worked on throughout his career. Because in these types of situations, he wasn't going to allow extra coverage to keep him from getting the football.
A handoff. Here's Harvey. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
When
we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play. Some coaches like to take the shorter, more reliable yardage, and some, they like to go for the big shot. No fear in risking a deep ball there, but it wasn't enough to get him the completion.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Nix. That's taken in by Franklin. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 20-yard line. A big play that time on the catch and run. And the Broncos are going to have a new set of downs.
1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball in his hands.
And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. A give to the fullback on the dive. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Trying to run for it. Here's Harvey. And the Broncos are going to have a first and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
On first down, back to Harvey. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Working out of the gun is Nix. Now he's going to step up and run. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
They'll try and throw. Here's Nix. He'll try and do this himself. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Bo Nix, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the 4th. So part 1 of what they needed is done. They get in the end zone. Now you have to imagine we'll see a try for 2.
And that's what the book says, but defensively, they can't hang their head right here. They've still got a chance to come out with the lead if they make a play.
All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come.
The Broncos.
They'll try and throw for it. And he's got it. The conversion good, and we are tied in the 4th. Still time to work with on the clock, but they wanted the tie now, and they got it.
And I love their aggressiveness. Go ahead and get it done, get the game tied. Now your team has the momentum, and you're staring across the field saying, let's see if you can match us.
So this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The visitors' offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the 4th quarter. Here's 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. Here comes 2nd down. Throwing. Love. Able to connect with Jacobs. Nothing open downfield. They went underneath.
Yeah, see if you can get it to your running back. See if you can make someone miss in the open field.
And it's 3rd down.
Well, this crowd doing their best to make a lot of racket. It's 3rd and 5. Now Love. That is caught. And he will get out of bounds here as well. What a play. Big yardage. They stop the clock, and they move it to the boundary of field goal range as well.
And partner, in a tie game in the fourth quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
Love looking to throw it. A short throw to Musgrave. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
And coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Now second down and a few inches. Here's Love. That's taken in by Watson. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
First and 10 at the 28-yard line.
On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And somehow he's going to get a yard out of this as he fought through that first contact. It's second down. Now the Broncos will use their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Plenty of time. All three timeouts still remain. Here's first and 10 now. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
11 more yards. That's another.
Clock's under a minute. Still plenty of time, partner. They have all three timeouts.
That means they have plenty of options in their play calling and where they target on the field. They can throw it downfield, maybe even in the middle, and use their timeouts.
Here's Jacobs. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Well, now hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Second down, goal to go. Wilson is going to go backwards. He'll lose yardage back to the 5. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. So it's another field goal here. He may need to ice his leg after this one. That's now 5 field goals converted in this game alone.
Yeah, get the trainer. They're going to need this guy. And they've needed every single one of the field goals he's made, too. If they're going to get out of here with a win, I say he gets a game ball.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
at their own 35-yard line.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. And a fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, everyone, as we say so long from Denver.